Hey guys, welcome to the GSL Codes Tastes and Artosis here, the Casting Archon here with some amazing StarCraft 2 games coming up here. It's our second day of the new season Artosis. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling superb-tular.
That's actually the word I was thinking too. We have a lot in common. We have actually a ton of great Terrans today. If you're a Terran player, this is going to be the day for you. This is going to be the day where you want to study these guys and figure out what builds are going to beat us Protoss players on the ladder with.
Well, they could figure that out if there were any Protosses, but there are not.
That's
so
true.
Actually,
just the Zergs and the
just
other
use
Terrans.
your standard stim attacks. I'm sure you'll be fine. All right. So
thank you to our sponsors for making this event possible, and thank you, viewers, for tuning in and joining us here at the GSL, the biggest, bestest esports tournament in the world, the best show on Earth. We love StarCraft. We love sharing our passions with you guys, and I think today's going to be probably one of our longer days. With all these Terrans here.
Definitely could be. You know, we only have
long
TVTs
matchup.
and TVZs, and those are both the longest matchups in the game.
Also, please add us on Twitter, the Golem TV Twitter, and check out our mobile services. You can add us on Twitter as well, myself and Artosis. He is Artosis, and I am Call Me Tasteless. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at the predictions page, which we're going to throw up for you guys, as you can see down here. If you want to actually partake in a poll, if you want to partake in a poll and just, say, oh, I think this guy's going to win or this guy doesn't have a shot, you can do that by going and following the directions below. And that's just one of the many new features we've added here at Golem TV to make your user experience that much better.
That is what we're doing, Tasteless.
That's what we do.
I'm interested to see what people think about this first group because it's such a group of death. I think it's probably the hardest group, to be honest.
I think that's a fair statement, especially now that we're done with the ST group.
The amount of finals between these players and just the scariness of the other two in practice. We have 2 practice Bonjois and Marine King and MVP in the same group. That's an insane group, man.
Yeah, no kidding. Of course, MVP, I would say, is the favorite just because he's the #1 ranked player, but at the same time, Marine King always causes upsets. He's not the guy that loses right away in a tournament. He's always going to get deep to the finals or something.
What? That's actually a great way to describe Marine King. He always causes upsets.
Yeah.
Because either he'll beat someone that would be better than him, or he'll lose to someone and then he's upset anyways. So
he is just an
one of the
player all
most
around.
Emotional players that we have in the GSL.
I think he's actually our most emotional.
It's only because Goma no longer exists.
Yeah.
Well,
Choya was pretty emotional, actually, as well.
Choya's been emotional, but remember when Goma was crying after winning? And it was just this beautiful moment where he was so happy.
Have you ever cried after you've won a game of StarCraft in a tournament? I haven't. Even if I've won a tournament, I have not.
No, I don't think I ever cried from winning or losing, actually.
I've cried from losing.
No, I've cried out of frustration at myself, not at the actual loss, but frustration that I didn't prepare correctly.
I've cried from that.
Yeah.
That's, not like I lost the game. I don't want to just lose. But, when you lose, you're just mad at yourself. So, I'm actually
not everyone. Sometimes people are mad at their opponents.
Well, yeah, some of them. But you know what I'm talking about. All right, so our finals, come check them out. They're going to be hosted at the location below. And it should be a lot of fun. The finals, just like in our studio, they're completely free entry.
That's right.
So
make sure you're there, man. Sejong University.
Yeah.
Sejong, of course, the Emperor of Korea that created the Korean alphabet.
Is that correct?
This is actually the best alphabet in the world.
Korean is the best alphabet, actually. It's a phonetic alphabet.
Yep.
A lot of people don't know that.
And it's unbelievably simple. He invented the best alphabet. So congratulations to Sejong and your university. Now you're going to have the GSL Finals as a gift for your wonderful alphabet.
They've earned it with that alphabet.
They have, absolutely.
Actually, it's funny because whenever I have you've experienced this as well. Whenever we have guests come out to Korea, and we're showing them around, and we can read the signs in Korean, people are always like, oh, they're geniuses.
No, it took one day.
And, sometimes it took me a day to learn how to read and write Korean. But sometimes I just don't have the heart to tell those people that it's actually really easy.
Or you want to bask in the glory.
I'm like, I'm really smart. I'm a smart guy.
You're a really smart guy, Tasteless.
Yeah.
A tricky guy as well, tricking people into thinking you're so smart.
So, as you guys can see, we have a little video for you guys after all of our matches are done today. I guess you guys enjoyed watching the charades where Artosis and myself look like dumbasses. I'm glad you guys enjoyed that. This video, I believe, will be about some of the players.
GSL the start to the higher ground.
Yeah.
It's about a stalker trying to get back up the ramp when he's been hit by a concussive shell. It's a very sad film.
That is actually the saddest thing you can have. Also, check out Arena of Legends coming up very soon. It's going to be really exciting.
Oh, God, this is actually going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be on at 1500 KST. So you go ahead and do whatever it is for your time zone. And it's going to be, there's 10 teams out right now. So we are actually going to have the top 2 players from each of the teams join into this tournament. And we're going to have 4 groups of 5. And then the top 2 of each of that advance to the round of 8. So it's going to be like this sick tournament. It's going to be over the next couple weeks, casted by our Code guys. And you guys are going to love it. And also the low quality or standard quality stream is actually going to be free. So you can tune in and watch that for absolutely free, no cost to you.
Yeah, and of course, just so you guys know, the homepage for that is going to be up, I believe, at about 7 our time. So in about 50 minutes.
I would say closer to 44 minutes. I'd say just about 43 minutes
2
at this
seconds,
point.
0.2 repeating.
It's actually 42 minutes and 40...
This is the
5
moment
seconds.
where I get to watch Artosis do math. You know the rule, man. You never do math on live TV. That's how you get in trouble.
Yeah,
You'll think you might be right, but then you'll second guess yourself. It's like
actually, I was watching the clock up there to time it out.
You have this clock up there. I forgot about that. All right, let's take a look at today's players. MVP aLive, Curious, and Marine King in Group H. It's going to be pretty sick.
Yeah, it certainly is. 3 Terrans and a Zerg, as we see there.
Oh, my God, who's that guy?
Oh, my.
MVP and aLive bowing. The audience going wild. And we're going to see these 2 Code-S ballers duke it out for our first set today. But let's not forget about our other 2 players who are coming out now.
It is Curious and Marine King, Startail and Prime, respectively.
I like Marine King's shoes. I do not currently own a pair of high tops. Do you?
No, I don't have any high tops.
Artosis has got these crazy badass shoes.
I got Vibram's 5-finger shoes, man.
Yeah. He's like running over buildings.
I'm learning how to run as evolution intended, Tasteless.
I'm going to get a pair soon.
It feels good, man. My calves are so tight right now.
That's the sexiest image I could ever imagine.
Seriously, Tasteless.
All right.
Touch it. Touch it, Tasteless.
Oh, dude, yeah. I'm actually touching his calves, and it feels like there's extra bones in there or something.
Yeah, man.
I think you need to get that checked out. Here's MVP, ranked number 1.
Look at those GSL points, 18,603.
You can't get GSL points. How he's going to crash the GSL economy at this rate.
I know,
That's
man.
Inflation.
And, well, imagine if all those GSL points were dollars. He'd have $18,603. And don't pay attention to those verse Terran percentages.
Yeah, that would
because
never happen.
As we know, MVP is the god of PvT.
He actually has 105% win rate against everybody.
That's right.
I don't know how he does that.
He beats them backwards.
Yeah. He beats them, and then their computer crashes in the next game they're playing against somebody else because MVP's owners are so good at the data that had to go through the computer. It looks like our building's on fire. We went a little bit crazy with the smoke today.
And there is aLive. Look at that handsome nerd there. And look at that badge on his shoulder. That's right. TSL, sponsored by thehandsоmenerd.com.
That's right.
A great sponsor indeed.
Great 2 owners in that site.
That's right. And we're going to be supplying their uniforms soon enough. And they're going to be on sale on the site pretty soon, so that's cool. But
we've crashed our site by now. But
yeah, our site is having a few technical difficulties, but that'll be fixed eventually, guys. We're sorry about that.
We cast a lot of games.
Check back randomly.
So he's ranked 41st here. But,
and
you know, one thing about aLive, sorry, I don't mean to run over you. One thing about aLive is that he is supposed to be one of the scariest players to play against in practice.
Yes, absolutely. He was actually picked last season. Last out of all the players picked for the GSL groups. So he's a very scary player, but he hasn't busted out yet. He's done very well in Team League. He's done okay in the GSL. You know, he stays in Code-S, no problem. But he has not gotten as far as he wants to. And, you know, if he can beat MVP in a TVT, man, that really shows, like, hey, this guy is for realses.
Yeah, he is. He's solid. But, you know, is he going to beat MVP? I don't know. That's quite a tall order.
That is a double tall order, Tasteless.
Yeah. He is actually, I don't know, man. MVP is just the guy that doesn't lose. He's like Nesty. Him and MVP are the same.
Yeah, They're very similar. He's the knight in sparkling platinum armor.
I was trying to signal you this with hand signals. Did you not bring the coffee? I asked for it to work.
I was excited. I ran down to the subway. I didn't even think of it.
God damn it, Artosis. I needed that, man. We have all terrors today. All right.
Okay, I'm saving
share.
some of mine.
All right.
All right. Match point, TSL Live, the man of round of 32. Will he be able to pull out a victory against MVP, the King of Kings?
We're going to see MVP, the Slayer of Nerds, the ranked #1 player, champion of the BlizzCon tournament. He is truly a force to be reckoned with, but aLive, who's done really well in practice, is known for beating everybody. The real point, though, is can he do it when the world is watching? We're going to find out soon now. These two nerd warriors, these nerd ballers, here at the GSL Codex. Thank you to our sponsors. In the bottom left starting location, we have...
I am MVP.
That one came faster than I thought it was going to come. Oh, man, there's a crazy fan in the audience. We're going to have to put
MVP,
barbed wire around his booth. You hear that scream? That was a scream from the pits of hell.
Is it to keep him in, to keep her out?
I don't know. In the upper right, our other Terran player, his ID...
TSL aLive.
There he is.
I think he's got is that a new pair of glasses?
I don't know. It might be. Maybe
Might be.
he just shined them up for this match so he could see clearly.
Could be. I think I might be wrong now that I said that. I thought those glasses looked new.
I don't know. Maybe.
We still need to get our hipster nerd glasses that don't have lenses.
We'll let Ghost of Trolling stay on top of that one, man. Well, the map is dual sight. Will these guys go gas and get quick Reapers? I don't think so. I think we're actually going to see Command Center builds out of both of them. Well, there is the gas from aLive. Never mind. But MVP not getting his gas yet. Oh, and then he gets it. All right, just get it late, MVP. That's fine.
You're off to a bad start, Artosis.
I guess I am,
We have to go into the booth and ask them to start the cast over.
Start the game over.
It's not about you guys.
Anyways, I hope to see some Reaper builds.
Yeah, me too. I don't know if we're going to see them, though.
On this map, they're just so cool.
We'll see.
You know, when you think about...
I don't think we're going to see it from MVP here just because of the position of his barracks, but aLive still has a chance of doing it.
Yeah, that's very
Oh, is he
true.
going to wall in time? Nice. Nice. So, like, high five aLive.
And aLive's SCV not being very friendly. Jumping onto the outside. MVP chasing him down. And MVP not getting very much gas. Tasteless gets 48 gas and decides that's enough. But what is enough for? That's my question, Tasteless.
Yeah, you need at least 50 to do anything. Maybe that's a mistake.
Well, I think he's just going to go ahead and get a little bit quicker of a command center after seeing his opponent wall in. In the meantime, aLive is getting a factory. Now, aLive does like fancy one-base builds. He does a lot of technical rushes. Not always. But he does like 1 and 2 base play, whereas MVP is a many more base type of guy.
All right, looks like the SCV will be chased out. Nice move there by aLive. I'm actually having breathing problems today, Artosis. You know, about 5 years ago, I had a rib dislocated.
I didn't know this, actually.
Yeah, it's incredibly
when did this
painful.
Happen?
Back my last year in college before I dropped out, I dislocated a rib.
I don't remember you ever telling me this.
You didn't know this?
Well, I figured you would have told me, but I normally remember everything because I'm like a superhuman, but I don't remember you ever telling me this.
But the rib has been hurting again. I was like cracking my back, you know, like you leaning your back, and I heard a little pop, and I didn't think much of it, but...
You were self-chiropracting?
I was self-chiropracting.
That's dangerous, Tasteless. You need a trained professional for that.
I do. But yeah, my rib's been a little bit sore today, so... I'm not having an easy time protecting through my diaphragm.
I'm sorry.
Watch, like, by the end of the cast, I'm like, help me, get me to the hospital.
You poor guy. That's terrible.
I'm sure it'll be fine. It hurt more.
How are you sure about that? Don't try to be a doctor.
Because the rib actually moves itself
That's
back
like what my
place.
grandmother, who's afraid of going to the doctor, says. Oh, I'm sure it'll be fine. It's like,
scared.
actually, Nanny, you don't know that. You know why? Because you're not a doctor.
I'm scared of hospitals.
Of course you are.
Creepy.
That's where you go if you're sick.
They're creepy places where human bodies don't work, and they go there when they fall apart. I'll let you know if I'm still in pain by tomorrow. Okay. So, now we have command center about to complete. With the reactor over here in the tech lab, Banshee's coming.
MVP looks like he's going to go for Siege Tank plus Starport here.
That's interesting. Maybe just get a Viking or something?
Yeah, he might do that. He might just go straight up to that. It's a very safe type of build. In the meantime, aLive, you know, he's not known for going mech. I don't think I've ever seen him go mech in this matchup. So I think he's just going to be going Marine Siege Tank probably here. He does already have that tech lab ready. A couple more barracks will go up. But if MVP does decide to go for mech, of course, he'll have to switch over to Marine Marauder into Siege Tank. You'll see, though, a Banshee is on the way, and a Viking's on the way for MVP. No cloak, so MVP, definitely, I like his build order a lot more in the very early game here. Of course, it goes without saying that I'm going to like it more anyways, because aLive is not going mech.
Artosis does love his mech.
That's right.
Hey, you know, this is one of the things about going Banshees like this is that...
You know what? It's not so much that I love mech, it's that I hate non-mech. That's actually what it is.
That's a good way to put it. That's a positive spin.
Well, actually, it's pretty negative, but thank you, Tasis, for spinning that for me. And
the glass
MVP,
is not half empty.
MVP going to go for barracks anyways. This is one of the maps that MVP does about half mech, half marine tank type builds on. So it's going to be marine tank against marine tank this game.
You know, look like aLive. Oh my God, he miscontrolled that. No, they're both miscontrolling, and now there's a high chance the Banshee will in fact go down.
Yeah, pretty high indeed, but there is a Viking there, and oh, who got the first volley?
Oh, it's going to be that double kill from James Bond. Nintendo 64. Watch. Da-da. You ever do that?
Yes.
You both double kill each other because you guys play License to Kill?
No,
that's what men play?
I've never been killed, so I don't know.
Never? Not even once?
I don't know. Maybe someone bad like you got killed, not me, though.
I guess I'm just a mere mortal.
Yeah. Myself and Nesty, we once played. It was terrible, man. We were shooting the guns out of each other's hands. You're like, but that can't even happen. I'm like, but it did when we did it. He like shot the grenade and went into my grenade launcher. I shot it back, and we just played catch the grenade till it exploded halfway in the air between us.
You are funny, Artosis.
You ever see a perfect game, Tasteless? Yeah.
All right, so we got a couple barracks coming up here for aLive. Excuse me. A couple barracks here for aLive.
You know, I actually like aLive's play a little bit more than MVP's here. You know, MVP has shown in this tournament and others that when he goes Marine Tank against someone else going Marine Tank, he's like the best at that as well. He can just do anything the best. But I really like this from aLive. The fact that he's automatically getting his second factory right now off very few units, that's going to give him a big, substantial tank lead.
Yeah.
And that's going to make a huge difference as long as he doesn't misstep early on when he's going to have less Marines.
Yeah, I'll have to play safe and definitely be in a defensive posture, but I totally agree with you, Artosis. I mean, if he gets that up, he's going to have the raw strength to pull through with a win.
Yes. Well, we'll see if he keeps that macro up with it. MVP instead opting for a lot more medevacs a lot earlier, getting that reactor up on his starport already after his first medevac. And I'm really interested because I've seen now so many of these. You know, I have been casting that MLG tournament with JP, the Global Invitational.
You've been cheating on me.
I have been a little bit tasteless, but you know what? Someday he, and I should do a three-way cast.
But Artosis, I don't know if I'm into that. I don't know if I'm comfortable.
I know, right? But anyways, I've seen a ton of Marine Tank lately, and it's normally exactly the same builds going against each other. But this new, quicker second factory build has me intrigued, and I'm really interested to see how this turns out from aLive. But he's not producing tanks right now. I mean, he's built the factory, he's just not making tanks.
I don't know if he should be moving out now either.
Yeah, that's
I mean, you're not going to garner the benefits of having that additional factory.
Yeah, especially since, there we go, finally he started his siege tank production. So he's got to be careful about this, though. Cannot get out of position with it too early, Tasis. When you have to get to a certain number of siege tanks before your lack of Marines as opposed to your opponent really starts to count.
Siege tanks are sieging up.
And in fact,
this is how you do it, too. Stim one Marine to scout. Don't use a scan. So much better.
Yeah,
We're getting a good idea of what's going on. I know that Marine is a living thing, but it only costs 50 minerals. A mule, not a living thing, but it's 300 minerals. You guys can see my value system now.
Wow. You're actually kind of evil, but at the same time, I think that might make you the greatest StarCraft player of all time.
Thank you, Artosis.
That's why Nesty plays Zerg. It's more in lives he doesn't have to care about. That's how brutal he is in his efficiency. You know how many banelings he makes? Yeah, he doesn't care. Suicide those units.
He doesn't care, man.
As long as it gets him victory, gets him glory and money.
Nesty's like that guy that he would have about 1,000 nerds that would assemble together into like a throne or a giant robot that he would control. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Well, we have aLive right now being lightly contained here. I mean, this isn't like a big, bad, scary contain that MVP is doing. It's just a light one, being a little bit annoying and keeping some map control, but aLive moving out, he's got to be careful.
All right, he's going to go right around that.
Yeah,
it's kind of a funky position where other sides are controlling the Zelnaga watchtowers. Now aLive,
careful here.
aLive's in good position, but if he gets hit the wrong side, well, actually, excuse me, aLive's going to go ahead and move into the bottom now.
Right now, their supply is very similar. aLive actually up by about 8 supply right now, surprisingly. They have a similar number of siege tanks, and here he goes. He is actually just going to go ahead and hit, and this is a powerful move by aLive. In fact, MVP out of position here. The siege tanks are already sieged for aLive, so he can just back up to them.
Barely gets out of there in time.
That was nice, though, man. That was actually really nice. In fact, he's up by
what is he doing?
What? That wasn't nice.
That was at the anti-nice.
Yeah, that was actually not nice. It was mean or bad.
It was nasty.
Yeah.
It was cruel.
I don't know if it was mean, but
for the Marines it was.
MVP now using this Viking advantage, using that air superiority. Really smart move of him. Shoot away those medevacs. That makes aLive back up because he realizes, okay, there's no way I can just keep scanning. These Vikings are not going to let me see his tanks coming. You know, air superiority is so important in siege tank versus siege tank.
Yeah. All right, siege tanks and Marines now moving out. aLive definitely matting down MVP, just really cornering him here.
Yeah.
And I got to say, credit to aLive. You know, the TSL coach is here today. He's really been rooting for aLive and really hoping that he's going to do one practice. Now, this could be bad because MVP is going to have this high ground. And it looks like both players actually respecting each other, neither actually sieging, which is fine. Uh-oh. They drew straws. This guy's life is bad.
Well, aLive right now. Still moving around the map. The supplies are just so similar with these two. Let's take a look at the siege tank count, though. aLive is at 10 against 8 of MVP, so MVP has actually just been doing a kick-ass job producing his siege tanks. His second factory is just about to finish. But again, if aLive had been producing siege tanks non-stop, he'd definitely have way more, as that second factory came out a lot quicker.
Oh, I love this. Look at that. Just going to take out the depot so he can unsiege, pick up and leave even if he wants to. And what he's doing so great is he's controlling where MVP is.
And
you just went, whoo!
Yeah,
I was going to say that. I heard you say that, Artosis.
I
came out of your mouth.
Catch it. But, you know, he stemmed, he killed off one of those Vikings, almost got the second one, then picked up, then his medevac died. It was an amazing combination of great moves and terrible moves. So we have a nice little drop here by
very
MVP.
nice. He needs to take care of this fast. If he loses that command center, all this positioning that aLive has gotten is going to go away. That advantage is canceled. I don't know if he could have saved it even, but jeez.
Yeah, and by the way, guys, in case you didn't tune in yesterday, we have changed a lot of the GSL maps this season. For instance, on this map, we no longer have a gold base. And the third base is positioned slightly differently than before. A little bit better for defense now. Just so you know. You're looking at this and be like, what's different?
Yeah. And I do like the changes that we made in these maps. Okay, we have a siege tank for siege tank. A battle going on here. And you know what's sad is that aLive has fallen behind. Despite aLive almost getting the third base up right away, aLive is just not able to produce at the rate that MVP can.
And MVP's little drops are doing a huge amount of damage, but aLive almost just caught MVP out of position there. He was not sieged. You know, these drops are just kicking aLive's teeth in here, Tasteless. That's kind of brutal.
But you know, I think aLive's almost falling apart, man.
He is. He's just falling apart right now.
All right, we're in a base trade scenario now. Base trade scenario, guys. Moving out. Siege tank stimming. So much damage being dealt here, but MVP very smartly brings out his SCVs to take some of that damage. And this one sizable army from aLive is now very tiny. Meanwhile, MVP is inside the main with a sizable number of Marines. aLive making a lot, work with a little here using those medevacs well, but my God, that is just too many Marines, Artosis. I don't see MVP losing this.
You know, he was too cost efficient against aLive's attack, and aLive was too cost inefficient against his with all those Marine drops going on. So it looks like aLive is probably going to lose from here. You know, he only has a handful of Marines left. Much bigger army for MVP. All he basically has to do is float a command center off the map somewhere Marines can't hit, because there are no Vikings.
That's it. GG. That was one of those games that just all of a sudden ends.
Hell, you know, they pass each other. They decided, okay, base trade scenario, and MVP just dealt more damage to the incoming army, so he's going to win.
There's a fan in the front row that sounds like a howler monkey.
She's really
she is out of control, man.
Can't blame her.
Can't blame her.
MVP, he's that good, man. She loves that macro.
If I was casting this game, I'd be making howler monkey calls too.
We are casting this game.
No, I mean if I wasn't casting this game.
Oh, okay.
Excuse me.
I'm like,
maybe I could.
Well, you better make those howler monkey noises because you're casting this game.
I do it, and the hottest howler monkey babe would come in here because my howler monkey screams are sick.
She'd be swinging on the vines, trying to get here as quickly as possible until she hits the bars at the Soul Zoo and just falls down. Tricked her, Tasteless.
So MVP is the victor in that game. A very well played game. I think aLive had it going. He was doing great. Then that one drop that denied the third base, I think that threw him off. He wasn't able to focus really. Agreed?
I'm sorry. I glanced over and I saw some girl here wrapped up in a blanket walking around.
That's my howler monkey girlfriend.
Everything for me turned off. I have no idea what you said, but I agree.
You have actually, when you sit here, you have the interesting view over here. Because see,
you
this
get
side
to
is
look
where
at the
our door
wall.
is. I actually see a wall, and there's a bicycle in our studio.
It's a very nice bike, though.
I think I should ride that home. Actually, I would.
Tasteless riding a bike is the funniest thing I've ever seen. With
I got my nerd
jeans.
Back and stuff.
Yeah, your nerd back and your tight
my
jeans.
My hipster jeans.
Yeah. It's always so funny.
My junk all bunched up on that bike.
That's
Prostate cancer, here I come. Well, but back to that game. I think, honestly, once the third was denied, it was just over. I'm trying to imagine myself on that bike, and that's so funny.
Yeah, well, you know, he denied the third, and then his drops just kind of peeled the banana peel off of aLive, and all that was left was a banana. And if you leave a banana out too long without a banana peel, it turns brown, tasteless, and that's what happened to aLive.
Well said, Artosis. All right, we're going to go to game number 2 now with our Terran and our Zerg. Our Zerg here, Curious, from the Team Stardale. And as you can see, Curious, not a ton of match experience, ranked 72nd here, yet he is in Code S. So that goes to show you that his rank will be skyrocketing way higher than it is now. Mm-hmm. Curious, we see him a lot more in the team games, sometimes successful, sometimes not.
That's right, but he did win Code A. He kicked serious ass in Code A. I don't even remember if he lost a game. It may be in the finals, but I think throughout he didn't. And this is a guy that we saw in Team League a lot, as Tasa said, with mixed results. Towards the end, he started doing much, much better, but he kept coming out in important spots, and we'd see the same mediocre Zerg every time, to the point where it was like, what are you guys doing? This guy must be so good in practice. And that is, of course, what was going on.
Yeah.
So he's had some stage experience, but can he take down this man, a man with so much stage experience that he could be an actor?
It was so funny
on Broadway
when we did the signing at MLG.
Yes,
you were to my right, and then Marine King was to my left.
Yeah,
and it was so funny to see people communicate with Marine King and just to see Marine King's limited English, but how he was able to still communicate with his fans.
Yeah,
so cute. I loved it.
He did his best, man. Of course, Reddit community, shout out to them. They sent him there, and that is awesome. That we would get together and do that for Marine King. He had a blast, no doubt about it. Did a great job, a lot of great games, and hopefully here tonight he can get a little bit deeper in the GSL this season. He hasn't been doing as well as I think the whole world would like in GSL recently.
Well, Marine King, he had a really strong start, especially in Season 2, of course, and then we kept thinking, all right, eventually this guy's going to win a finals, and he just keeps getting farther, and then he's knocked out, or Final Four. He's a good player, but unfortunately, we haven't seen him get as far as we would have hoped, or I guess he would have hoped.
Quite true. Well, the map's going to be Crossfire SE. We have changes mapped. Gold bases are gone. There's some extra mineral patches at the gold and at the natural bases to make it a little bit more fair. I think the map is better than ever for sure. TVZs here are always a lot of fun, Tasteless.
Yeah. Again, it's a map with a lot of narrow corridors. It's a map where After the Zerg takes his third base, the fourth base becomes incredibly difficult to acquire. And it is a map where you got to be ready for a counterattack, especially if you're Terran. They might counterattack you.
Match point. Code 8 champion ST Curious versus Ranking Prime, the second place expert. Will it be a battle for the new blood or the return of the king?
We will see soon as the countdown has started. Curious against Marine King. Is Zerg going to move on in this tournament, or is Terran dominance going to continue? We'll find out soon here in the GSL Code S with Tasteless. Actually, no, I'll do it differently this time. With Artosis and Tasteless. Heartless.
That just went right to my head. I suddenly have decided it sounds better. We need to always call ourselves Artosis and Tasteless.
No Artosis.
I think so, Tasteless.
Shut up, Artosis. All right, let's get ready for this game here on the Map Crossfire.